Welcome to the Juto Podcast. Super stoked for the second time to have the Memphis Country Queen, Amber Rae Dunn. How you doing?
I'm doing really good.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
And lots going on. I wanted to have you back on. Just, we want to talk about life. We want to talk about things that are going on. But you got exciting stuff happening with you just in terms of a second album and all of that cool stuff, which we'll get into in just a minute. But before we do, I thought it'd be cool if we played a little game. I want to test your knowledge.
Oh, no.
I want to test your knowledge. And listen, if you don't know this, it's okay because I don't know this either.
Busting me out on camera.
So this is some country music trivia.
Evil.
And let's see what we got here. What was the name of Johnny Cash's band? Do you know that? I know that's hard, isn't it?
No, but I know that they weren't extremely knowledgeable players.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's how he coined his sound, is because almost they didn't know how to do more.
Wow.
So I think that's really cool. But
yeah,
if that doesn't give you inspiration as somebody that's just learning, I don't know what will.
Well, and just to reiterate, I don't know these either. Like, there's a couple of them as I was reading, like I knew, but for the most part, I don't. But
I probably, once you say it, I'm gonna be like, I knew that.
Well, and I don't know how much you could trust the internet, but it's Johnny Cash and the Tennessee Three. Johnny Cash and the Tennessee Three. So the name of the band was the Tennessee Three, and maybe he had other bands.
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably went through multiple.
Yeah.
I'm in like 5 at the moment.
You know how it
so
is.
I'm like, what do you want?
What sound do you want?
What kind of music do you want? Because I can like cover all the bases.
I'm still tripping out from the first time you were on talking about being a backup singer for the Jamaican, the reggae band.
Yeah.
Which I thought
Which now, since then, I've been to Jamaica. So I came back to those guys and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to go to Jamaica and play one of these festivals that I heard about and just like rock it. It would be so cool.
Yeah, we were in Montego Bay as well, and I know you went there. Maybe we'll spend a second talking about that in a minute too. But
shout out to our Montego Bay folks.
Montego Bay, come on. This one I think you will probably know, and it's kind of newer country. It's not really old country, but Miranda Lambert married which fellow country star in 2011?
Do you want my opinion on it, or do you?
I'll take both.
No, I'm guessing that was the guy from the Voice.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Shelton.
Yeah, Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
And this is a contention subject in my household.
I did not know
my
that.
husband is a huge Blake Shelton fan,
wow.
Which is cool. I liked the man before all that happened, but I'm a huge Miranda Lambert fan, as you can probably assume. And so I just feel like he did her wrong. Like, I know she did some things too. I know it came out later, but I don't care. I stick with my girl.
So what happened? Did he cheat basically, or was it Gwen Stefani?
I was gonna say I think he kind of cheated first, and then it kind of came out that maybe she was doing some things on the side, this, that, and the other. But
chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Yeah, I see.
But
that's funny. I thought this one was kind of interesting because your style is a little bit, the older country sound. And this is an interesting question because I did not know this, but what country musicians sang Waterloo in the 1950s? Do you that ring any bell?
Not at all.
Yeah, it didn't for me either, but I thought, you may know.
No.
It was actually Stonewall Jackson. Yeah. I said
I would have never got that one.
I had the same reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was true trivia.
Okay, I think you will know this one for sure. I Will Always Love You was written by which country star?
Oh yeah, I went on a tangent on this one the other day. Dolly Parton.
Absolutely.
Because I just really feel like even though Dolly wrote it, Whitney Houston, I don't ever want to hear it recorded ever again. And I know that sounds a little wild and weird, but it was that amazing of a version.
Yeah, it's insane. Dolly wrote it, but certainly Whitney Houston she
killed it.
Put it. Yeah, exactly. Put it on the map.
Dead.
And it's dead. Nobody could ever do it again.
Never.
You see all these viral things. I saw not too long ago. It was like this trio singing the song, and I had all this harmony on it. and they were like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" But it just did not hit for me. After hearing Whitney sing it, it was just phenomenal.
There's very few songs that I feel like have ever happened in the world that are that their performance was that pivotal for those lyrics and for the vibe and everything, that it's like retired, so to speak. Like that is the definitive version. Frank Sinatra and the I'll Fly or Fly Me to the Moon or whatever. There's just certain versions of songs that like I always want to hear that version.
Some things just don't need to be redone. They just absolutely don't need to be redone. And I agree that is definitely one of them. And we'll ask one more. And I didn't know this one. I love learning about country music, but it says, which prominent country musician died in 1953? Think about it. We're talking old country, prominent staple in old country music. He died in 1953. Your best guess?
I don't know. There's several that have died. I don't know. Hank Sr.?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. I love it.
I know he was 29 when he died.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I've got a list of artists and when they died and how many of them, like all of them are under 40 that have died. Like all the really good ones. And there's like, I think it's a 27 club or there's a certain number that like, in all genres of music, a lot of people have died. And it's crazy.
Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, thinking about like classic rock,
It's really crazy and sad, but cool how influential they could have been in that small of a time. So it kind of makes me feel guilty being a little above that age.
Wow.
Just a little bit. And not having done more. Do more. It's my little fire that lights me.
But you just taught me something. But it's a different world just in terms of, gosh, there's so much out there right now. And I hate to use the word compete, but you're really competing with the world. And we talked about this a little bit last time. But Let's segue, because you have been consistent. I mean, and I know doing what you do is a passion. Tell me a little bit about the second album. It's what's the name of? That's what is life? Or
I got one.
Yes,
you guys.
yes, I guess that's life. Oh my gosh!
Thank you all for having me on, and here's your coffee.
Voila! Check that out.
I guess that's life.
I guess
the name
that's
of
life.
it, and that's the title track and the last track on the album.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of the whole album really is contemplative, and just where I'm at and what I've been through, and just kind of a little bit more of this journey. There's a song about my mom, a song about my brother that passed away.
Yeah.
I guess that's life is kind of a song. Justin and I, my husband, were sitting around a campfire, and he started telling me about his life and saying we should write a song about my life. My life is a song.
Yeah.
And everybody says that, but just in that moment, we came up with a couple of lines, and I just kept working on it after that, and came up with that song, and it was a really beautiful song. And this new producer, when we started working together and I showed him a little bit of my material, that was kind of the one that he honed in on, that he thought he could do something really cool with. And that was the first one we recorded, and it was kind of my initial trial with him as to whether I wanted to work with him.
Yeah.
And he did such a good job. Like I brought it back and showed it my band, and they were like,
You're
oh
like,
my
whoa.
God, Amber, that's killer.
Yeah.
Like just the sound quality, the production and all that. So I went ahead and signed on to do an entire album with him.
Yeah.
But it's just funny that was the first song that was finished. It was finished like 2 years before the album even started.
Gosh, that's crazy. Where you talked about it a little bit, but your inspiration. I know you said you wrote a song about your mom and your brother that passed. How, from a songwriting standpoint, how does it come to you normally? Is it just in those odd moments, random, where you're not even trying to write something, and it's just like, whoa, that's a song? It's
almost like anybody that's creative.
Yeah.
It just kind of comes to you. I do feel like it comes to me more when I'm doing an action that engages my mind, but doesn't consume my mind.
Yeah.
Like driving or painting or weed eating or something where you have to be cognizant enough to not die.
Weed eating.
or hurt somebody or cut yourself, any of that kind of stuff.
You heard it here first, guys. The inspiration comes while she's weed eating. I love that, though, because it's so just real life.
Yeah.
I guess that's life,
Well, your mind just has to be engaged. And it's almost like when your mind is engaged, it's open to receive whatever may come.
Wow, that's awesome.
And you have to like stop and write it down. And I mean, I really don't know how people back in the day before they had voice memos remembered things. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is interesting because I play drums, and that's a little bit different. It's not like I come up with melodies, anything. The drums are kind of just a rhythm and a supporting role, but
they're hard though. I was playing. We did a jam last night, and they were like, "Amber, hit the hi-hat," and I was like, "What's that hi-hat?"
Dude, I love it. Like it is phenomenal.
Hit the toms. What's the toms?
How does the tune of the song come to you? You know, because words or
like
inspiration.
The melody, I guess.
Yeah. How does it come?
Well, for me, that's just kind of something you're born with, I think.
Yeah.
You can work at it, but the better ones and the more effort. I just happen to, when I hear lyrics, they come out with melodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of hear what should be the fluctuation of the words and how they should, hit.
Right.
So to speak.
And then you just kind of go with it from there. And man, that's awesome. I love that. And I hope, if you're a creative out there, you're a songwriter, or maybe you're just in any form, I would encourage you to do what Amber does. Take those moments of inspiration. And I know exactly what you're saying about coming to you at the most random moments. Like I've been asleep in bed.
Yeah.
And then just woken up, and be like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome.
Write that down.
I know. Before I lose it.
And then you're also kind of mad because you're like, no, but if I get up and write it down, then I won't be able to go back to bed. Like, come on, mind, just turn off.
Yeah.
No, but I've got a 7th grader that her mom begged me to like help her with her performances and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I fought her. I was like, girl, I don't know what I'm doing. Nobody ever trained me. I just, I'm learning it still, Yeah. And finally she talked me into it. And one of the sessions I was asking her if she ever wrote songs and stuff. And I was telling her that, and the mom just loved this. I was like, well, what you need to do is help your mom garden, help your mom clean, start wiping windows. Like anything that, and the mom was just loving it. But I was serious, like anything that would engage your mind. And she can't drive, and you just have to be doing something for your mind to receive it.
It's so crazy. And I don't know why, but I instantly went to, I'm calling that like the Mr. Miyagi approach. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know you're learning, but it is true, man. Creatives, it's engaged in the mind first. Mm-hmm. That's where it is. That's where it all happens. And I've seen that. And I just want to say, tell me a little bit about, because man, it seems like you're gigging like a lot these days. Like I'm seeing you everywhere.
More than I probably should.
Tell me about that. I mean, are you to a point now where, it's becoming a little easier to book things? Because I know how it is starting out.
Well, I've got a couple of different bands that I'm playing with. Yeah. I think as a real creative and a true artist, you know your sound, but you also don't know your sound.
Yeah,
like you always are exploring and trying new things and stuff because you're just creative like that. You can't sit still. And so I got a soul band that I'm playing with. I've got a new guy I've been doing stuff with that does more rockabilly. He's from Italy. Came over here. Always wanted to do rockabilly in Memphis.
Oh my gosh.
I've got my band. We do country. I've got another one that we do like folk rock kind of thing and old 70s. They've been playing together for years and I just added in.
That's funny.
I just can't sit still, I guess. And the playing everywhere, I should probably be a little more, organized with that because, but money talks.
Right.
When people call you and they're like, hey, I'll pay you $200, $500, whatever it is to come do this thing. And you can do it.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to practice.
Exactly.
I just off the top of my head know 50 songs that I could sing right this second.
Come on.
And then I make that money. And so it's kind of, I need to maybe, Justin and I have talked about this, slow down, quit chasing the money just a tiny bit. And
But the thing is, you got to admit, it's fun too.
Oh, it is.
It's fun.
Getting paid to do something you absolutely love.
It's hard to say no to that. And not only that, but you have to look at it from this perspective too. It might not last forever. It's almost like, no. I'm not. Leave it to me to be a freaking downer.
Oh, okay.
Look,
Debbie.
No.
Tell it to me.
Let me expound on that thought. Okay, what I'm saying is, it's it's almost as if like, man, the opportunity is in front of me.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no in that moment. And like you said, when you're truly passionate about it and you love it, and you're to a point, I believe, in your career where, just like you said, boom, you don't have to have a whole lot of prep work. You know, you can get in there, you can kill those 50 songs or whatever they're wanting you to do, play 2 hours, an hour and a half, and it just becomes easy for you. So that's awesome to see, like, the evolution and where you are now. So out of all those bands, and I don't want to offend anybody, I don't want you to offend anybody, but what is your favorite, or in which band do you have kind of the most fun? And I know
it changes and stuff.
Yeah.
In some of those, I'm not the lead. I'm part of the band.
Got you.
Like I have this string band that I'm doing, and they do like 1920s music.
Like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou kind of stuff?
Yeah, like kind of bluegrassy. They call it gypsy jazz.
Dang.
And it's very jazz-ish, but for people that don't know what that is, they see bluegrass instruments and just assume it's bluegrass, they don't have a banjo. But that's a lot of fun because it's just something completely different than when I love that music, but I just never really thought there were bands doing that, and that I would be a part of one. But in that band, that's what I was getting at with your question, is I'm just an instrument. Gotcha. And it's interesting.
Wow.
Because in jazz, the vocals, the lead singer wasn't always the main thing. It was like the band is the thing. Dude. And each person has their part. And then I do my part, but then I also step back because I'm not the show.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes with my band, it's like Rae Dunn, and then she has her band.
She's the lead.
Yeah, I'm the lead, and I have my band.
That's right.
But with them, it's not. I'm just another instrument. I'm another fiddle. I'm another... And it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's cool though. But it's also exposure, and beyond that though, I think it's growth. I think it's learning. It's honing your skill. It's learning how to sing backup and do the harmonies, and learning dynamics of not having to be the lead. And I think all of those things make you who you are when you are the lead. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think all of those things just make you a better artist. You know what I'm saying? All the way around.
You have to always be receptive. To be an artist, don't call yourself an artist if you don't keep your mind open.
Yeah.
If your mind is closed, you ain't an artist. You painted one thing one time and it kind of looked cute.
Yeah. You got lucky is all you did, right? You got lucky. Man, that's awesome. So the new album is out. You're gigging all over Memphis and other places. So what is next for you? Because I know people are going to keep calling you. I mean, they're going to keep knocking down your door. And
well, I sent a message out to one of my guys on the way here because something just struck me about I bet me and you we put something together, and that's going to be the best band that ever hit Memphis. You have those moments of inspiration. I haven't heard back yet. I'll check my phone to see what he said. He might be like, Amber, that's stupid.
She sealed the deal while she was here, guys. She sealed it.
Yeah, it was all because of you.
Yeah,
exactly. You inspired me. But lately, my newest venture, we've only had 3 gigs. Tomorrow, we're going to have another one. At Central Barbecue downtown. We practice in public now.
Wow.
Which that's kind of cool. Like,
dude,
practicing at home is cool too. And we still do that because you have to do that and kind of work out some kinks. But once you've hit a certain level of kind of knowing what you're doing, you can go book the gig, make $200 and practice there. And
practice at the same time. Dude, that's ingenious.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's nice.
That's awesome. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Man, that is really cool because... the crazy thing is nobody's going to know you're practicing but you and him or whoever you're with.
Once you hit a decent level of kind of knowing the professionalism, knowing enough of what you're doing, you can curve things when they do start to go sour in a way that the crowd doesn't know. Man. Another musician out there would know. But who cares? Don't be judgmental.
Yeah, and even them, though, I think, because I think about that too, like knowing the drums, if I do hear a snub or a little bit of a mess up, I have grace there because I know that I've done the same thing. You know what I mean? And I know that for the most part, people are just going to keep jamming. They're vibing. They're having a good time. I've
got a song called I'm Human Too. And that's the premise of the song, is basically saying, like, crap happens to me too, guys.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm nothing special.
Yeah. Well, you are special, but you know what I'm saying. But
my husband says so.
Yeah. I'm sure other people do too. So, But yeah, that's awesome. So it's exciting, really exciting to see that growth and to see that. What is it? You know, if there's a message or something you just want to tell your fan base or tell the people, what is Amber Rae all about? What is your central message that you want people to know about you?
Can I steal it from Finding Nemo?
Please do.
Just keep swimming. I was drinking my coffee yesterday.
What'd you have in that coffee? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, when I came in, I told you I had a terrible week.
What happened?
Just a little moment of that. Wednesday, my favorite dog died in Justin's arms. Like, I hate to take it down like that, but I'm a little bit better now. But it happened Wednesday morning, and I mean, it was just absolutely crushing. I've never seen something take its last breath. Like, it was just terrible, terrible, terrible. And you'll probably find this interesting. Like, we talked about it. We both took off work, and for 2 days we were just together and our family, and we have a lot of other animals. We're country folks, you know how that goes.
Come on. Hey.
Way too many animals, but we just brought our family together and really had some moments and stuff. And at one point when I was kind of struggling, because you ebb and flow in that.
Comes in waves.
I was back down again, and Justin was just trying to help me back up.
Yeah.
And he said, she's with Ryan, my brother.
Wow.
And he said, Ryan needed a dog. He's got a dog.
Come on.
And something about the way he said that just touched me. And I'm one of those weirdos that have to write things all over the house to remind myself, because my mind will go places.
Oh yeah,
I don't like those dark spots. I got a lot of them.
Absolutely.
But I didn't have them until some things happened in my life. I was about 25 before I ever had a little blemish of something. And so I wrote it on little sticky notes, and I've stuck it on every door and every wall and places that I would see. And it says, Ryan needed a dog. And I came up with just a little, Ryan needed a dog. Ryan needed a dog. Ryan needed a dog. And I just keep telling myself, and every time I see it, Ryan needed a dog. And it just calms me. It's like a mantra type thing. It was amazing that he did it. He was just talking, but that was what I took from that. And it really has helped me. And when I was drinking my coffee yesterday morning, I was staring out the window and kind of saying that to myself, Ryan needed a dog, Amber, right? Because we buried her that morning, and thankfully our neighbor has a backhoe or whatever, and we were able to get the whole process done pretty quickly to where it wasn't too scarful, although it was very traumatic. Yeah. And I was drinking my coffee yesterday, and I was thinking, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And I was like, man, Dory was so smart.
Wow. Man, I'm glad you took it there, actually, because this podcast, if you've ever listened, and we talk about a variety of things, but it always comes back to the deeper meanings of things, the deeper, we want to be relatable to what people are going through. And man, that actually touched me. And I know what you're talking about. I mean, we've lost a pet and been through that, and it's not a pet. It is, man, I cried for days it was inconsolable when our dog Rambo
still
died.
In that, yeah.
Yeah. So I empathize with you, and I think too, though, man, that's where you get not only inspiration, but that's when you get a revelation of, okay, life is really bigger than all of the crap that we make it about. Let's be honest, people are busy chasing crazy things these days, and sometimes you just have to stop and reflect and go, okay, what is the meaning? And I one thing I like about you, Amber, is that you have always, I feel that in your music,
Yay.
You know what I mean? Because it's real life stuff, and nothing is going to inspire you like real life. And I see that in...
You can't really try to write a song. A song writes you,
Yeah,
it really
exactly.
does.
It's like you're putting a melody to what you're feeling and what you're thinking, and just happen to put something behind that. So no, I appreciate you sharing that. Gosh, I'm sending all the well wishes.
Thank
and
you.
I know how hard it is, and it's crazy because we have a little dog named Max who's actually Sydney's dog, and he's kind of sick right now. He's got this cough.
Aww.
And then me and Heather are like, oh, it's gonna be really bad, for her. Like when it happens,
Yeah.
It's crazy. And man, I'm thinking about Justin too, the bravery, holding the dog.
Yeah. Well, we were trying to get her to the emergency vet in Memphis because, and that's where we've kind of taken this whole, what are we doing here? Pause.
Exactly.
Assess life, and then look at each other. We are a family. We got to come together kind of thing, because we're both so busy. He has his day job, and he does the cornhole stuff, and like he's just so busy.
Yeah.
And he does the not pastoring, but
youth.
He's a youth pastor, and then he does weddings and stuff. And
gosh.
then I do all my music stuff and have my day job, my night job, my side job, my side job, from my side job. You know, it's like, and
you are a true creative because you got 10 jobs.
My life is gig based.
Yeah.
Anybody says, "Can you do it?" I can do it. I can do everything.
Right.
I can weed eat. What do you need? I can do it.
Do you have a song about weed eating yet?
No, but
I better hear that on the third album.
I'm gonna do a weed eating song. But you know, we were just so busy that like whenever she got a little sick, we kind of we called the vet and stuff, but they didn't seem concerned. So we were like, okay, well, bring her in the morning. Okay, we'll bring her in the morning.
Right.
And really, we should have like just paused long enough to see she's in pain. Bring her now. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then we're also a young couple, and we had just had an issue with one of our cats, and it was $500, and the cat was fine.
Yeah.
That cat was fine.
You're like, why
and
did
that
I
lady
spend
smiled
$500?
at me like, you owe $500, and I'm like, girl. Whew, okay, I'm gonna.
We just spent $300 on a dog like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, "You little punk!" I'm mad at him because I had to spend so much. But
so we kind of let the moment get away from us, and then we paid for it in a really terrible way.
You looking back, you can beat yourself up, but how do you know? You have no way of knowing. And the thing is
so
that
you can't beat yourself up.
You can't. And the dog knew that you loved her. There's a female.
That's what Justin did. Jolene was her name.
Oh, dude, Jolene. There's no doubt that Jolene knew. And there was no greater thing. I read something one time. Because a lot of people, when it comes time for their dog specifically to die, they'll take it to the vet, but they're not in the room when it happens. And this was an article talking about the worst thing you can do because that dog needs you in that moment. So for me, hearing you say that dog was with y'all when it took its last breath, there is no greater thing that could have happened for that dog, to be honest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm serious.
I needed to hear that. And of course, Justin has kind of landed on that, but it's harder for me to land on that. I'm like I don't have any kids, obviously. And my first little second, third comment after it happened was like, are we going to be terrible parents?
Oh my gosh.
Am I going to have a child? Am I going to be that stupid? And so Justin's had to talk me off that ledge a couple of times.
And I'm not laughing.
No, I know.
But all those thoughts.
Well, y'all have tons of kids. Y'all are like, no.
And we are terrible parents. No, I'm kidding. But no, all those thoughts, they're rational. It's rational stuff.
Yeah.
And that dog is with Ryan now. Like you
that's
said.
What I'm saying. I put it all over the house. It says Ryan needed a dog.
Come on. So, they're reunited and having a good time. So that's awesome. So I appreciate you sharing that, and just keep swimming. You heard it here first.
And weed eating. I'm teaching these people all kinds of things.
Man, I promise, dude. I want to hear a weed eating song on album number 3. So I'm seeing here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 songs on the album.
8 originals. 2, one is a Willie Nelson cover and one's a Loretta Lynn cover.
Dang.
Hey, if somebody would pay for me to do a whole album of covers, there are so many songs that I love to sing. Some artists are really weird. They're like, all right, and I don't need to do someone else's song. I'm like, no, that song built me.
Yeah.
I want to pay homage to it and do my version and just blow it out of the water in a good way. Just show people I appreciate this much that I can give it that much soul.
Yeah. Well, and specifically about the artists you named, there aren't a lot of people doing those styles, and I think we need it. It is such, I don't know, it's just such an iconic sound to me. You can't beat that, it just takes you to a whole nother place in time, honestly.
Yeah.
Which I really, really appreciate. But
that's before I came over here, I was singing Marie Laveau in the kitchen.
Oh.
And that's what got me kind of thought processed onto the text message where I was trying to get this new little band on the way over here.
Band number 6.
No, that sounds pretty good. The way I was singing Marie Laveau, I was and nobody does that song. I've never heard that live.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
That would be awesome. Which of these tracks, and I know you love all of them, but which of these is most special, or which did you have, what hits you closest in terms of these songs?
So if you mean deepest, maybe my Ryan is one that I've never performed live.
Really?
Because I just can't go there.
Yeah.
But it's not really about that. I didn't write the song to perform live. I wrote the song because that was a moment I had.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to kind of share it with y'all. And I've had so many people say specifically out of all the songs, that song. And that just means a ton because I didn't try to write that at all. Like I literally, y'all know me and y'all know the situation.
Right.
That is exactly what happened. Like there's no extra words. There's no, just to make the line rhyme or anything. Like that is exactly how it happened.
Wow.
And that really is exactly in the bridge when it says, time, they say time's the answer, but time to me only makes it worse when I'm alone with my mind, and I'm always alone with my mind, and because it does. And I don't mean that to be like depressive. It's just, that's a hard thing that you have to constantly swallow and get past. And it only passes for like 2 seconds and then you're back there, but you have to continually, just keep swimming because
just keep swimming.
You're always alone with your mind. You cannot run away from your mind. You can drink a little bit, you can do whatever you think is going to help, and it will, but it'll come back. So you might as well find a better way to cope, a more constructive way.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely see that. Yeah. It's knowing the story, the song really, it's emotional, you know what I mean? Just, and I think anybody would love the song, but knowing the backstory, and knowing, man.
It was up for Arkansas Country Music Video of the Year, by the way. If you want to go watch the video on YouTube.
Yes. Well, I'll share the link to that video in this podcast. But, well, I really appreciate it. I know we've been talking, and we're going to give you an opportunity to play a song. So any final thoughts, any final words before we hear one of your songs?
Just kind of the just keep swimming, so to speak, thing. And if you have issues with that, contact me on social media and stuff. Like, I don't mind at all. I feel like I've built a really good fan base of people that are literally so supportive.
Man.
And that's what I personally need. I'm just like dying over here at every second. I just die with a smile on my face. I'm that kind of person. But I like to think that hopefully I'm able to do that for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's a really beautiful thing. And as far as maybe like the songwriting, seriously, like engage your mind in some, not meaningless, but like activity that so well that you don't really have to think about it.
Exactly.
And while that's happening, your mind is going to naturally go to other things and just kind of pick up on some of those things. And when it goes to a little phrase or a line or a thought or something you kind of like, stop, write that down.
That's it.
And I literally have like a box full of, I write mine on, I do it in different ways, but lately it's been note cards.
Awesome.
And because sometimes it'll just be 2 words. It'll just be a little thought or a little line. And I put all those note cards in together, and then I'll kind of come through and go through, and they're all little random note cards. And maybe this note card matches with that note card. Ooh, maybe there's that song goes to that song, because they do come in little sections, but sometimes they fit together and they don't come at the same time.
Exactly. But then you're like, oh my gosh, that'll go perfectly with what I was thinking
so those
earlier.
Little note cards kind of help me personally just visually bring them together later.
Perfect. Man, that's awesome. Great ideas. You heard it here. If you're creative, you're working on something, hey, jot it down. Remember, because you never know. It's just, it's one piece to a larger puzzle. And, the other inspiration will come in moments. So just keep swimming. Love that. And without further ado, we're going to set up and we're going to let you play a song for us, Miss Amber.
Well, hi, guys. My name is Amber Rae Dunn, and I'm going to play a song for you guys that I wrote about my husband, or for my husband, I guess. And it is officially my first love song, because I don't do a lot of love songs. Those of y'all that know me know I'm a big Roger Miller and Little Jimmy Dickens fan. I like my funny songs. I like to take life, because life is kind of hard, and make a joke about it and move past it and not really deal with the deep emotions. But, when you fall in love, they want a love song at some point as a songwriter. So I decided to write him one. And funnily enough, it doesn't even have the word love in it. But without further ado, guys, this is Backroads. I'll ride back roads with you anytime, the day, the month, the year. Don't need to call me, I'm right here. And I'll ride back roads with you anytime the sun sets in your eyes. the glitter of the fireflies. Oh, I'll ride back roads with you anytime. This world has been so slow, driving down a gravel road. So grab a blanket and a bottle of strawberry wine, and call your mama, tell her don't wait up, oh, we'll be just fine. We'll find a hoping feet here behind the Georgia pines, and I'll ride back roads with you anytime. And I'll ride back roads with you anytime. The magnolias in bloom, perfume fills the room. And I'll ride back roads with you anytime. Turn off the old highway, out where the bullfrogs serenade. We don't need no place to go when Charlie Robinson's on the radio. So grab a blanket and a bottle of strawberry wine, and call your mama, tell her don't wait up, oh, we'll be just fine. We'll find open feet here behind the Georgia pines, and I'll ride back roads with you anytime. All my life, honey, I've worked hard, but I found my paradise, and that's anywhere you are, anywhere you are. So grab a blanket and a bottle of strawberry wine, and call your mama, tell her don't wait up, oh, we'll be just fine. Grab your hoping feet here behind the Georgia pines, and I'll ride back roads with you anytime. Yeah, I'll ride back roads with you anytime. Yeah, I'll ride back roads with you anytime.
Woo! Awesome.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Still not the best guitar player, but I can write.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's amazing. Come on.
Thank you.
Rae Dunn. Come on. If you don't have goosebumps, I don't know what's wrong with you, but thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Where can they find like your gigs? I know you're playing tomorrow, but where can they follow you at?
So social media is the best.
Awesome.
Everything's Amber Rae Dunn. That's AMBERRAEDUNN.
And I'll put a link directly to your socials.
And I have a website that has a link to all my socials, just amberraydunn.com.
Awesome.
I make it so streamlined.
Sweet. It's easy, guys.
You have no excuse.
It's follow. Come on. It's that easy.
It is that easy.
Awesome. Amazing.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time on the Junto Podcast. Take care, guys.